you need to consider the following. Hi, my name is Meka Paddy. In this video, I want us really to discuss the issue of before you get married, before you think of getting married, what are the things that you need to think of? Because many people get into the marriage, and then once they are in there, just at the beginning of the marriage, boom, things already started. There are already a lot of differences, but uh, because of the love, you feel so loved, and you keep on also getting married at the beginning of the love, which is you are still in the honeymoon stage. Now you don't even want to discuss some of the things, since people, we have so many differences. So while we are at the beginning of the this, I thank you for prescribed to this channel, because once you prescribe, every time when I do a video, whether it's I posted one or it's live, you are able to be notified. Just also don't forget to like and share, so that others can also benefit from this. So let's look at really what are the things. I think there are mistakes that we are making because we don't want apparently to ruin the relationship. We don't want to discuss things that really are important. And sometimes you can really even see that this relationship is not moving. You see, there are a lot of, you know, warning signs. What are the things that you have to look at? Number one, look at the warning signs while you are in the relationship. And what before you even think of a marriage, especially when you are a woman, don't become too fast asking about, I want to get married. Yes, I want to get married. Warike kuhokano. You want to get married too soon. But it's better to be with a person for such a, you know, if you stay with a person for 1 year, at least you are able to pick up some warning signs. When we are talking about the warning sign, what are the things that you have to look at? Look at as your partner. Things that, for instance, some differences where the warning signs, like, is there any element of dishonest? If a person is already starting lying to you, especially for women, if you will be able to see it, don't ignore it. Don't ignore it, because you are able to see those are the warning signs. And if a person is dishonest while you are dating, this person is not going to change. Now, I want you to underline that marriage is not going to change. Marriage doesn't change a person. If a person is dishonest, even when she or he is going to get married, she is going to continue being a dishonest human being. Now, when you are talking, look at elements. You know, there are people who really talk. Is it a negative person, hateful person, a person is only talking about other people's things? Yeah, who did ABC, swear, do, all those negativity, and he or she is talking about in a very hateful manner. That is a warning sign. Number three element that you have to look at them now, is this person maybe addicted to alcohol or drugs? As I said, when they say love is blind, it's not necessarily to say love is blind. You actually block your eyes. You don't want to see, because you feel, if you see it, maybe you are going to break up. But you saw that the person is using drugs. You saw this person is really addicted to alcohol because he is drinking like none of your business, but you start ignoring it. Those drugs, because he's addicted, he's hooked, he's not going to stop. Definitely the alcohol, the drugs, it's still going to your into your relationship, into your marriage. And now you have said, yes, I do. It will be very difficult. Look at those. If you need to make a change while you are still dating, do so. Or you need to make a move, let go and move, because you don't want to go into a relationship with someone who is really hooked, already knowing that this person is hooked is addicted to drugs or alcohol. So, and then number 4, look at the selfishness. Sometimes I got a lot of complaint or concern from especially women. They complain about that their husband are so selfish or their boyfriend are so selfish. And if a person is selfish now, until a person go through a change process, go through therapy to find out why this person is selfish. If a person is selfish, that selfishness will move to the next level, which is the marriage. Now, there is a saying which is say, the next one, which I'm going to talk about, there is a saying which is say, no, once you are a cheater, will always be a cheater. You know, when you cheat once, cheating or affairs, we compare it like drugs. There are people who are addicted. It's actually a type of addiction. So a person who is hooked to drugs is addicted to drugs. A person who's hooked to alcohol is addicted to alcohol. A person who is hooked to affairs, who is addicted to affairs, he is hooked to women or men. So many times you move to the next level with somebody, a person has already started cheating you while you are dating. And yet you haven't dealt with the affairs, you haven't dealt with the cheating, yet you move to the next level with this person knowing that he or she is going to cheat. Because the moment a person is hooked to a woman, hooked to men, being cheated to you and say, no, I'm going to change. And unless really this person goes to an intensive counseling so that this kind of addiction is being healed. Otherwise, this person whom you call your prospective love or whatever, it will be always be there. So those are the things that you have to. Those are the warning signs. You have to look at it before you even think of getting married. Now, like women, a man will approach you. You have already seen all these warning signs, but you ignore them. You close your eyes because you don't want to see them, because you want to get married so much, especially women. No, men are so scared. So when you say women are so scared and you are not going to get another man, and this is the person you with the warning sign that I have already indicated, that is the one you are moving into. So you are moving into the disaster. In the very first month into your marriage, these warning signs will always come. Then you start already crying. You start already calling Mekapadi, please help me, what can I do? Those are the people I receive almost every day. People get married just within 2 months. They already started with problems. It's not because the problems were not there. They ignore the problem. They decided not to take it into consideration, and they decided maybe when you get married, it's going to change. It's not going to change until you go for counseling, intensive therapy, so that it find out why you are hateful, why you are hooked to drugs, why you are selfish, why you are unfaithful, why you are dishonest. So those are the warning signs. Now we are now going to move. What are other things that you also is especially these are now the warning sign. Now let's move to the number two is the major differences between the two of you. You know, this fear of you are afraid, eh? Ushupeko, kamona, and then you really ignore also major differences. What are the things that you also need to look at before even you think of a marriage? Now, when people are coming for premarital coaching, I ask them about children, because you'll find that many of people nowadays, both partners have, you know, what we call a child before a marriage. But there was not even a day when you discuss around your children, how are you going to raise up your children? How are you going to raise up your children? Are you going to raise up them, together? Are you going to leave them with their grandparents? How? Because these are the things that already break up the marriage at the infancy. Because sometimes you might find that you find a man with his children already. Now, when you come in, you don't want to stay with those children, but you haven't discussed it. Or you, as a woman, you have been staying with your child. You have been staying with your child, or maybe even the two of you, you are staying with your child. And now that you have to get married, you have this unexpected, unexplained expectation, unspoken expectation that yes, your husband is going to accept your child, and you are just going to continue life as is. We are not talking about the selfish. What you need to do, you discuss it before, even when you think of a marriage. Talk about the children. If one day we have to, not the time when you are already starting to say no, we are going to get married, just throughout the relationship, discuss about the children. If one day we happen to be together, what will happen to the children? This one, maybe your man will express to say, no, I would love to be with my child. This woman say, oh, meaning I don't like children, because both of you have different views when it comes to children. Let me give you an example. When we got married, I'm a kind of person who doesn't like children, not at all. And I even remember my sister-in-law, when I got my child, he said, oh my goodness, who is going to help you? Because you never even help with the child. You never even look at the child and so on. By nature, I don't like really children. That's why I don't get them. And I just wanted to have one child. Yeah, just to prove that I am a woman, I'm able to get a child. Then my husband said, no, you cannot, we cannot just have one child. And then he gave his reason of, no, you are not going to just have one child, because having one child, and he gave this reason. So, and one has to discuss it. He likes children. I don't like children. So now what can you do? You discuss around it. Maybe your husband wants a shopping list and you only want one. Then you can compromise to the two or to the three or whatever you come up with, but let it be discussed even before you think of getting married. Until you iron it out, let your partner knows what is your difference, what is your view when it comes to children. So the second one is, which I always ask also the couple, where do you think you are going to live? The problem here is, especially in our cultures, people decide to get married. One is they are very far from each other, and they never even discuss to say, because of work, they just decide we are going to get married. And I want you to understand here, getting married is to be together. That is what is marriage means. So if you don't discuss where are you going to stay as couples, and that is the number one problem that comes into my office, because people are living far from each other, and then the jealousy comes in, and then most long distance relationship. So then you come home, one is living in 1,000 kilometers from each other. You come home, you find the condoms, and now you realize that your partner is cheating. Why is it like that? Your arrangement, you haven't really looked at the arrangement, so that before you get married, you need to know already that we have to be together, and we are going to live where. Because at the end of the day, first, if there is a possibility of transfer, you deal with the transfer first before even you think of when are you going to get married. Because this thing of one is in Katima, one is in the north, it destroys marriages. It really destroys marriages at the beginning. Because who is this human being who is going to be such a Christian, who really can have that kind of a discipline? You know almost your partner. You know almost that, yes, being married, it means you have to be together so that you are able to meet each other emotional needs. So you need to be together so that you are able to meet each other emotional needs. Now, how do you meet each other emotional needs if you are far from each other? There's nothing like that. Number three, we talk about the head of families, or who is maybe not head of family. We talk about household responsibility, because sometimes you are married because you have different views where you are coming from. Let me give you an example. For instance, in our household, my father was the head of everything. My father was the head of from the kitchen to the crawl. He took over everything. And in some instances, you find that in some household, I'm talking about some households, when you grow up, maybe your mother was the head of the kitchen, your mother was the head of the children, and the other one that was the head of the cattle, was the head of the paying school fees, those household responsibility. Then you find some, you are coming from a household where the whole responsibility when it comes to money, it's who is dishing the money. You find that when a man pays, he gives to the wife, and the wife is the one who is distributing. That is how some of our household, where you grow up, because where you grew up is, you are following those values, those norms, those rules. And when you come into your relationship, you come with those views, and you expect your wife, you expect the same arrangement to happen, but it's not spoken because you don't know. So, but if you start discussing around it at the beginning of the relationship, not at the beginning, after you sort of being together for maybe after a year, you discuss those things to say, okay, who will be responsible for what? and how was the arrangement in your household, so that you can see, okay, my partner is coming from a household where the father's responsibility was A and B, and then my partner is coming from a household where the mother is responsible for A and the father was responsible for B. Or the father was had taking the whole responsibility. And that is when, let's say, when I got married, I was expecting my husband to do exactly the way my father used to behave in the house, because I don't know that there are other men who don't do like my father. That's the only man I know. So, and that is what I know. That is the practice, the habit, that the culture that and the belief that I brought into my marriage. So, and then it brought problems because my expectation was not the same as my husband, because where he is coming from is a totally different scenario. It's not where the father is doing everything. There was division of labor. Now, then the number 5, how do you spend money? Money issue is also a problem. The moment you don't discuss the money, how do you spend money? You will find it in the scenario where the man is just coming and then he has his money. If you don't discuss how are you going to spend your money, are you going to budget? How are you going to budget? If because both of you used to be alone, there was no budget. If, for instance, you are just alone there, you only copy what you are brought from your parent house. But maybe you were working, and now you are dealing with your own money. You do whatever you want. Now you are now a couple. Now you are a couple. You have to come together and discuss, because the people has different money beliefs, and the money beliefs that you are copying is the one that one of your parents used to use. Maybe maybe your parents was stingy, then you copy that. You brought it in your relationship, so you can also see. So discuss how are you going in case you end up being married, or just discuss in general, so that you can see, oh, this one, argue around it and so on. And then when you decide to get married, you already know that this is how we are going to deal with our money. This is how we are going to spend our money. The next one that really also have major difference when it comes to couples, it's that you need also to discuss is the issue of religious. You find people are from different religions. One is Catholic, the other one is Anglican, the other one is Lutheran, the other one is the new churches. So, and there is this mentality where people push. Yeah, once you get married, you have to move to my church, where it's written. It's not written that because you are married now into the Catholic, you have to change, because changing a religious, moving to a religious, is a major change. And it's not just a change that has to take it lightly. You need to discuss it. If you don't discuss it, it is the one that is going to break your marriage. So discuss it, talk about it, not talk about it that no, when we are going to get married, you just discuss it as a general first, so that you can see how strong is this the religious. Some people are too religious, and you don't even touch that topic. Once you touch that, the two of you are not going even to speak to each other for the rest of the day, because religious is, it's like politics. It's something which is emotional. So if you don't discuss it, and now you assume that once you get married, whoever is going to move to yours, and thinking that your woman is going to move to your religious, forget about that one, because that is the thing that is going to cause a lot of problem in your marriage. And then at the beginning of the marriage, you already have problems because you fail to discuss it. You fail to agree. You can agree to disagree, but you know exactly the viewpoint of your partner. And lastly is the issue of sex. When you, in the course of your relationship, discuss the sexual preferences, how the positions, the whatever, maybe you don't want to have sex before marriage. Yeah, it's your partner's right. You are not forcing a person, but if you know where do your partner stand when it comes to sex, and also how often, how many times, and so on, because you'll find that a person feel that no, we only stick to that one position, you don't prefer the other one. So it is a person's preferences. So if you don't discuss it, and when you get married, you want something different, but you never discuss it. So, all in all, those are the things that you discuss before you get married. Know your partner, at least what is it that he or she likes? What is it? And if you find that there are warning signs, despite seeing the warning sign and you decided, I'm going to, despite my partner is addicted to alcohol, to drugs, or is my partner unfaithful, I am going for that. That is your own decision, but you know about it. But the warning is that many times it's not to say you you don't see them, you see them, you just don't want to discuss it, you don't want to see them because you have that fear, that insecurity to say, no, men are scared. Maybe I'm not going to get another one if I leave this one. So you throw yourself in the person whom the warning sign is so explicitly everybody can see it, except you who decide you don't want to see it. So those are the things that we discuss. So the warning sign and the major differences that you need to discuss before you even think of you want to get married. So this was the core of the this video. So before you leave this video, please don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, and don't forget to share so that I can also answer your question, because I will always come in and answer your question. Thank you so much. See you again in the next video.